Unfortunately, my favorite American filmmaker is not in the Criterion collection, and I don't know if he ever will be. But I'll talk about some of my other favorite American filmmakers. But first, I wanted to show you this Jamaican film, The Harder They Come, starring Jimmy Cliff. Jimmy Cliff is a reggae musician. I've seen him perform once with Widespread Panic. Widespread Panic was doing a set at a music festival here in Virginia called Lock-In, and I think just in the middle of the set, Jimmy Cliff came out and they did a few numbers together. Or maybe that was a different night of the music festival. But anyways, so this is a Jamaican film, and I didn't really know a good place in this series to put it. Really cool cover art. Movie from the 70s. One of my favorite covers, actually, of the Criterion collection. But yeah, it's all his music is in there. It says a film by Perry Henzell. So let's talk about my second favorite American filmmaker, Mr. John Cassavetes. And John Cassavetes was a famous actor who was in this little number. If you can, Rosemary's Baby. But anyways, he didn't just act in films, he directed films. And his first one here from 1959 is a movie called Shadows. And by the way, this box set, a lot of people pick it up during their Criterion picks. Barry Jenkins specifically referred to it as a film school in its own. But this movie, Shadows, it's set in New York during like the Beat generation, but the characters don't really like being called beatniks and whatnot. And it's really interesting. The main characters are a black jazz musician, his agent, who's a silly character, and his brother, I think his name's Benny, who's obviously Puerto Rican, and it's really interesting to see. I've seen things like that done later on, but this is the earliest piece of work I've seen where characters who are obviously not related, they're different races, are playing brothers or sisters or whatever. And I think this was made for $100,000. I mean, it was back in 1959, so it was a lot more money back then, but yeah, Cassavetes, he really had his own genre. I think there's some film festivals that give awards called the John Cassavetes Award if you make a film within like $100,000 to $250,000. And the next movie, and that is in this box set, is called Faces. And this movie, I don't know how much it cost to make, but This is a 16 millimeter film. I think Shadows is as well. But these are also movies that were shot in black and white, I think because it was cheaper to shoot in black and white. It's not the deliberate black and white filmmaking that I talked about in other films. But this main character is played by John Marley, who played Jack Waltz in The Godfather. And make sure I'm rolling. Yeah, because I wasn't rolling and wasn't recording. Anyways, so yeah, I think his wife Gina Rawlings was in this one. Can't really remember, but they shoot this one at Cassavetes' house, and to save money, you know. And it's not a genre film. It's I think it's an art house film. I think it's very in dignity with the criteria of art house film. And one thing that stands out with Cassavetes' filmmaking is that characters will talk over each other. But I think in this one, it doesn't really do that until a later movie. But this one, this is called The Killing of a Chinese Bookie. And for a long time, this was my favorite one of the series. It was 1976, 135 minutes. So that's another thing that stands out a lot with Cassavetes' movies. Is they're very long, but they don't feel that long. I talked about that in another movie. Can't remember which one, but he shortened it in a 1978 version, and they're both available here. If you can see that. Okay. But a strip club owner goes to a poker game and brings his girls with him, and he loses big money to the mob. And to get to pay them back, they want him to kill a Chinese bookie. And I think they're setting him up in the movie. I don't think it's he's expected to pull through with it, but an actor who's in this movie, it's Ben Gazzara is the main character. And God, there's this other actor. Can't remember his name. Oh well. Anyways, so this is it's a crime film, and I liked it a lot when I first saw it. But I think this next movie is really Cassavetes' masterpiece, A Woman Under the Influence. And this is starring his wife, Gina Rawlings, although I've heard it pronounced Gina Rawlings. This is from 1974, and it's another very long movie. It's 147 minutes, but again, it doesn't feel that long. And this is one where a woman, very mentally ill, has to go away to a mental institution, and Cassavetes' mother, I think, is in this movie. And the Peter Falk is also in it, but the chemistry that everybody has on this particular film is just really incredible, and that's why they're able to talk over each other so easily. I mean, I can't imagine trying to write that and direct actors to do to do something that natural. But it's I've heard that Cassavetes put up the mortgage on his house for this or something like that, and Peter Falk also gave him some money to make this. But yeah, that one's his masterpiece. And this one, Opening Night, starring his wife, Gina Rawlings. This is the only one in the box set that Cassavetes also stars in. So I like that a lot because Cassavetes, I have a little bit of a man crush on him. You know, I mean, he was just so cool. And the fact that he made really great movies is just makes me like him a lot more. I mean, he was incredibly charismatic and likable and handsome. But this movie, it's about an actress who I think she witnesses the death of one of her adoring fans. You know, after the show, if you ever go to see comedians or whatnot, you can go around the back of the theater, and that's where the talent leaves. They leave through the back door, and a lot of people will wait outside the back door to meet the people they look up to. And so a woman who does this to Gina Rawlings' character, she dies, and it makes her, it says here, it makes her confront the chaos of her own life. And it says here, it functions as a metaphor for the director's singular, wrench from the heart creative method. Oh, okay. This is another long one. It's 144 minutes, 1977. But you know, these movies, even though they're long, they don't feel that long. Something about the simplicity of them. You know, it's hard to describe Cassavetes' style. It's ultra low budget, simply written artistically simple. I think that's what I'm trying to say. And other filmmakers tried to emulate that. One particular is a woman named Elaine May. And she made this movie with Peter Falk and John Cassavetes called Mikey and Nicky. And this is a really cool movie. This movie is one among two films that I'm going to share with you that really inspired my first film, or my first short film that I never really got finished making. So, does it look like I have a cock eye? But anyways, can't remember which one's Mikey and which one's Nicky. Alright, Nicky is Cassavetes. Well, it starts off, Nicky is paranoid because he thinks the mob is after him, which is true. The mob's after him, putting a hit on Nicky's life. And they hire Mikey to do it. And so it goes through the course of one night. And they're going around New York. And Nicky is trying to get in like as many experiences as he can over this one night, along with his friend Mikey, I'm sorry. And so they go see a movie. They go to a candy shop. They go visit Nikki's parents' graves. They go see a woman of whom Nikki tries to hook up with, and then Mikey tries to hook up with her as well, but is unsuccessful. And so there's this rift between them, where Mikey feels like Nikki is kind of like an overshadowing older brother. You know, he's better looking, more charismatic, and I don't want to give away the ending. I think you should watch it. It's a really cool movie. But yeah, when I was making my first short film, Quarter Life, I wanted it to be a lot like that. But it didn't. But anyways, another filmmaker who was compared to Cassavetes was another woman, another female director, Barbara Loden, in this film Wanda. And I think actually this woman, that's her, Barbara Loden. I think she actually has the same birthday as me, so that's kind of cool. And this movie, it's like she lives on a coal mine, in a coal mining town, and I think she gets kidnapped by a man, and they try to rob a bank together. But yeah, I saw this movie and it made me think about Cassavetes, and then when I looked it up to learn a little bit more about it, I realized it was compared to Cassavetes' style. But I have two more Cassavetes movies here. This one is called Love Streams, and it's starring John Cassavetes and his wife Gina Rawlings. And I think in this movie they're playing brother and sister. But and they have like some kind of not an incestual relationship, but you can tell there's kind of an attraction there. And it deals with his son who lived with his mother, lived with his like ex-wife or something, is coming to stay with him, and he's this like eccentric playboy type of person, and his son doesn't really like him. But it's another long movie. It's 1984. Then it's 2 hours and 21 minutes. And then this last one, a film called Husbands, and I haven't seen this one. Maybe I'll watch it tonight. I don't know. But it's an hour and 22 minutes, made in 1970. Starring Peter Falk, Ben Gazzara, and John Cassavetes. And let's see if it's in here. The Cassavetes box set comes with this booklet, and I think there's the documentary. Yeah, A Constant Forge, The Life and Art of John Cassavetes, a 200-minute documentary made by Charles Kieseliak. I don't know which DVD that's on, but we have a lot more American films to go through, so I think I'm going to break the American films up into more than one video. So stay tuned for that.